They're on the stairs. Right
Oh!
here.
Oh no, there's one on the...
Dude! Oh my god. They're reviving him.
Oh, you
Oh
got
wow, he's a bullet. He's a bullet. On the wall left.
They're all up.
Oh, behind.
Looking.
They're everywhere.
Dude, one shot. What is going on, everyone? Griffin here, coming at you with some Mac gameplay, and today we're going to be talking about the developers leaving Rogue Company. So let's head over and check it out. So as some of you may know, and a lot of you probably don't know, it was not really announced, but discovered not so long ago, a couple of days ago, that Pretty Hair seems to no longer be working for Hi-Rez, specifically Rogue Company, and has moved on to bigger and better things. As you can see in this photo, he has changed his description for his Twitter bio that says balance designer working on @Fortnite game at Epic Games. So basically what that sounds like to me is that he has transitioned from First Watch Games and Hi-Rez over to Epic and working on Fortnite. And, you know, this is something that a lot of people have sent to me, and a lot of people are kind of throwing around a very similar idea of what is happening with Rogue Company and what could be happening in the future. And I kind of hinted around on stream the other night that I don't really feel the same way that a lot of people do about this, that I have a little bit of a different perspective on this, and I wanted to kind of address this in a video. So here's my perspective. People leave jobs all the time. I recently left my job of 7 years to go work for a new company so that I would have a better work-life balance, around the same pay. You know, that's not really that important, but less stressful in the long run. Now, Pretty Hair recently having a child and being with Hi-Rez for a very long time at this point. I mean, he came on as a caster and somehow worked his way into the development role over there for Rogue Company. And now he's been there for several years, I would say at this point. I would say he's been there for at least 5 to 7 years doing the whole Hi-Rez trick. You know, he started out, or at least I first noticed him as a caster for Paladins, and then it seems like he worked into whatever position that he worked in from there. Good for him. It is what it is. But I don't think that this is a bad thing. To me personally, I don't think that this is a bad thing. Because like I said, you have people that are constantly leaving jobs all the time. And if they're not happy in their current job, then they're probably not going to give a very good performance at their job and just kind of hand wave or, you know, shake off whatever comes their way whenever it comes to feedback from the community, whether it comes back to how the game should be balanced and how the game should be designed around specific aspects of the game. And this isn't the first developer that has left the OG Rogue Company. As many of you know, Scott Gandhi left the OG version of Rogue Company and started working on the mobile version of Rogue Company. Now, I don't know if this is a fell upward situation with Gandhi in particular. I don't know if this is something where he got fed up with, you know, the feedback and things like that that came from the community. He wanted to do something a little bit different, something a little bit more low key, or if he was just seeing Rogue Company from the initial concept stages up until that, you know, open beta release, and then he wanted to hop on something else. I know that he in particular, Gandhi in particular, had been at, he's been at Hi-Rez for a very long time, working on many games. I think he's touched all of them at some point, but basically Realm Royale and then Paladins and then now Rogue Company and Rogue Company Mobile. So he's kind of made his way through the company just a little bit and kind of, you know, branched out and did a little, you know, couple of different things within the company. But with him moving over to the mobile version, that's fine. If that's what he wants to do, it's his choice. It's his whatever it is. So he moved over to the mobile game, and that's fine. That's not something that I plan on playing. It's going to be what it's going to be. And they can do whatever they want with the mobile game and keep it with the mobile game over there. And then let this OG version of Rogue Company be its own entity. With Pretty Hair leaving, like I said, there may be a couple of things that contributed to that. And I'm sure that there are, not to mention pay. I'm sure that Fortnite probably pays better than Hi-Rez does. But let's look at this from a realistic standpoint. Sometimes you need fresh blood. Sometimes you need people to come in to think outside the box and to try to drive a game or a project in a specific direction that it needs to be driven into. Now, absolutely, the reverse of that could happen. You could bring somebody in that thinks that they're going to solve all the problems in the world and that they have the best intentions in mind for everything and absolutely drive it into the ground. But you also have people that come in, see what's going on here, sees that there's no clear-cut direction for the game, and actually want to try to establish that direction and try to point it into a better spot than the game's ever been in. I'm very, very optimistic about this because we've seen something similar to this at Hi-Rez before with Paladins. You had some of the developers at Paladins that decided that they wanted to leave Paladins, and whenever that happened, the game got astronomically better. They sit down and they looked at the feedback coming from the community, and they made changes based specifically off of the feedback, and now the game is arguably in a better state than it's ever been in. And I know that a lot of the OG Paladins players would probably disagree, but from my experience, from the time I started playing it up until the time that I stopped playing it versus how it plays now, it's almost a night and day change. They have readjusted the TTK and a lot of the abilities, and it feels somewhat balanced for the most part. I mean, there's a couple of outliers, of course, that exists within that, but for the most part, it feels like a lot of those problem areas that myself and other members of the community were feeling, they fixed those problems, and now they have just other, tangent problems that they need to focus on. That could be a similar situation here at the First Watch Games camp. It could be the situation where people exit the game, fresh blood is brought in, or people that have been there for a while that want to work up into this position and kind of become that person that's like, look, this is what we need to do for the game, and this will help the game, help the players, and make it a game that we're all proud of and a game that we all want and the community wants. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm being very optimistic about this situation. A lot of people online are like, oh, it's the end of First Watch Games. It's the end of Rogue Company. No, it's not. It's not the end of anything. And I guarantee you that there have been so many people over at Hi-Rez that have touched Rogue Company that have either left, been fired, or moved on to other projects at Hi-Rez, that it would blow your mind. That's just the way that these things work. You bring people in, you get what you need out of them, and then they either exit, they stay on board, or they move on to other projects within the company. That's just how these things work. So everybody just needs to relax. Everybody needs to take a step back and just think about the positives that can come from a change like this, because that's what I'm looking at. I hope the best for Pretty Hair. I hope the best for his family. But at the end of the day, this might be a good change for Rogue Company specifically. We got to look at the brighter side of things, right? And I know that I'm always making negative content and everything, and that I'm always bringing everybody down, this, that, and the other. This is not a bad thing. Pretty Hair leaving the game is not a bad thing. Scott Gandhi going to the mobile version of Rogue Company is not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. These are good things. We have to encourage the people that take these positions to do what is right for the game. But be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think the Pretty Hair leaving is a good thing? Do you think the Pretty Hair leaving is very concerning? Or are you someone that's just like, it is what it is? Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. Lastly, on Thursdays from 8 until 11 p.m. Central Time, Sundays from 10 a.m. until we get tired, I will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you're interested and available, please feel free to stop by and say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.
Like, this motherfucker talking on, dude.
You shoot me with all headshots.
Hedging. Uh-oh. There's a bullet, dude.
There's two coming on back right now. I got two behind me.
I got revealed. Whoa! Oh my god, yeah. He's literally half. Oh my god. I didn't even see him come around the corner.
Justice is served.
It's not so sweet. That cheese actually good that you got. Not that sweet. I don't know.